Well, the state's ag bioscience sector has in many ways been on fire in 2018, from a number of new companies to national events and shows, international trips. This week, we've assembled a special insiders panel to talk about the ag bioscience ecosystem in Indiana, successes, also challenges that might lie ahead. Our insiders this week are Agrinovus President and CEO Beth Bechtel, also Corteva Agriscience President of Crop Protection Business Platform Suzanne Wasson, and Wabash Heartland Innovation Network CEO Johnny Park. And welcome one and all to the Insiders this week. Special Insiders focused on, Beth, a sector of the economy that really is gaining in momentum. As you look at the things going on well, first of all, ag bioscience. When you talk about ag bioscience, give us, for folks who might not know, give us the definition.
Sure. We simply say that the ag biosciences are the sector where food, agriculture, science, and technology all converge. And oftentimes we'll put plus signs. People will see that in our materials. We'll put plus signs in the middle of the words to show that it is modern 21st century production agriculture meets biology, the life sciences, pharma and human health, meets science and technology.
Talk about what's fueling in some of this momentum, because Indiana has become in focus in this sector.
It has, and a big part of that, Gary, you know, is being able to promote the things that many of us long knew that we already had as far as food and agricultural technology assets. When I think about the global innovators like Corteva, Elanco Animal Health, Beck's Hybrids, United Animal Health, the institutions that are here, Purdue, Ivy Tech, Huntington. There's so much that was already happening that I think the formation of Agrinovus to really sort of build out the ecosystem to both amplify the story that is already taking place in Indiana, keep building upon it, but bring more of the connections and partnerships together around this innovation space were really sort of the most critical pieces. Beth
mentioned Corteva as a new name on the scene, but really a global presence. Talk about Corteva, the result of a merger, and we're going to be hearing a lot more about that company locally.
Absolutely. So Corteva Agriscience has a global business center here in Indianapolis, and we're so pleased to be part of the state of Indiana and all the exciting things that are happening here. And one of the reasons that we are excited, if you think about the ecosystem, there are multinational companies, there are startups that are here, the public education institutions like Beth mentioned, both Purdue and Ivy Tech. And then we have both farmers and livestock producers right out our back door. And it truly is the crossroads of ag bioscience. If you think about the future and about our ability to innovate, technology is changing so fast, and the opportunity to have all of those folks around the table and to collaborate, which we think is the future as technology changes, Agrinovus is the perfect conduit to bring that all together.
I want to ask you about talent in a minute, because that's a big piece of this. But Johnny, you're the CEO, the head of the Wabash Heartland Innovation Network, which is a regional collaboration, 10 counties, I think, up in the Lafayette, West Lafayette area. Talk about your focus, because precision agriculture is part of it, right?
Yeah. So WIN is a 10-county consortium in north central Indiana. Our ambitious goal is to develop the region into the global leader of digital agriculture and next generation manufacturing, really by harnessing the power of IoT, the internet-enabled sensors. And we believe that's really a key to enable the success and build the ecosystem to attract new talents, new companies in the region.
And you come at this from real experience, because you launched and ultimately sold a company, at Purdue University, Spensa Technologies, which was acquired. As you look at it from the business standpoint, why does it make sense for Indiana to put a lot of focus on this and really get behind this? What's the opportunity for success?
Well, so if you think about Indiana, we have key assets, as Beth mentioned, Purdue University being the only university in the nation with top 10 College of Ag and top 10 College of Engineering. a wonderful asset that we have. In our backyard, we have wonderful industry sectors, Corteva, Elanco, wonderful agribusinesses, and we have this really progressive state leaders who see the importance of building this ecosystem together and reaching out to community. So I think it's all those things combined, it's a ripe for wonderful environment for startups to thrive and build upon.
What's in terms of challenges, Beth? Everybody, it's not just the ag bioscience manufacturer, you name it, it's talent.
Yeah.
And I know that's a key issue for in this sector as well. How do you look at that whole talent situation?
Well, so I think one of the things that we see as our next big focus is making sure that we get more young people to think about careers in the ag biosciences. So you just heard Purdue and Ivy Tech mentioned here among the three of us, but I'm now spending more of my time thinking about IUPUI, Notre Dame, Rose-Hulman, Butler, because there are tremendous studies, areas of discipline that those students are coming out immensely well prepared for, whether it's informatics, business and finance, robotics, data sciences, that are perfectly situated and actually important needs now, growing needs in the sort of employment and recruitment area for the ag biosciences.
Yeah. And Suzanne, I know you are actively involved with the National FFA organization, the Blue Room, which was really focused on, again, educating young people about the cool careers in the ag biosciences. That's critical to the success of companies like Corteva and the others we mentioned.
Absolutely, because the industry has a shortage of employees to fill roles today. And when we partnered with Agronovus and Microsoft, along with a lot of other companies, to bring the Blue Room to the National FFA convention just a few weeks ago, the main objective of that was to showcase technology, because farming and livestock production are high-tech industries. We use data, we use technology every day, and I don't think the average student really understands that. And it's really to open their minds when they're in high school to the opportunities for employment, and then that may help them as they're making decisions for higher education.
Do you think the Blue Room, do you think that, we're looking at some of the cool video from that event, is making some initial inroads?
I think students were overwhelmed by the opportunity to sit on a couch and watch a TED-like talk, and to be able to touch an iPad and see computer technology in farming, or look at drones making pictures of farm fields, and trying to understand how that data gets collected to make decisions for farmers. So I feel absolutely it really opened their eyes, and although there was a small number of students that got to go through the Blue Room is actually Blue Room 365. So they're taking all of that information, all of those talks, and making that available to agriculture educators for lesson plans throughout the year.
Yeah. As we wrap up, Beth, talk about opening eyes. Indiana's getting a lot of national attention. The Forbes Ag Bioscience Summit that was here, first time outside of California. So talk a little bit about that. We were talking about things here in Indiana, great, but people outside are beginning to notice.
Absolutely, and these, two partners of ours can speak to some of these as well in our last, seconds here. But you mentioned Forbes. Suzanne mentioned this partnership with Microsoft. We just announced last week a new partnership with a Silicon Valley venture firm, SVG Partners, Thrive, to put a new accelerator program here in the Midwest. So the relationships that we've been able to build, we've been able to travel with Governor Holcomb to Israel, focusing on sort of ag tech startup opportunities across the world, and to have Indiana partners and Indiana ag bioscience leaders, and to have Agronovus help facilitate that, to your point, has put us on a global stage that I don't know that we would have anticipated being on.
Lots of excitement and new companies coming to the state. Talpolina, Solymph Tech, another company going to the Purdue Research Park as well. So lots of momentum. We'll have you all back to talk more about it, because there's a lot more that will be going on. Beth Bechtel, also Suzanne Wasson, and Johnny Park. Thanks one and all for being here, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.